So, I decided to do a movie review on a Nickelodeon film for the first time. We're going to be kicking it off with Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, released on December 17th, 2004. Basically, what this movie is about is basically three stories from this series were crammed into this one movie, and they are The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, and The Wide Window. And I thought these stories were adapted really well. And basically, this whole movie actually goes like this. When the parents of the three Baudelaire children die suddenly and surprisingly in a house fire, they are placed with their mysterious and prettiness, which I don't know how you say that word, distant cousin, Count Olaf. It very quickly becomes clear that he is only interested in their fortune, and so begins a most unfortunate adventure for the Baudelaires. I read this whole plot on the BBC website, where it displays a list of all of its broadcasts. If you want to see it, then the link will be in the description. It was the basic plot that I was reading. And here's a really interesting fact about this movie. Even though it was released by Paramount and Nickelodeon, it was also made by DreamWorks, and DreamWorks later on made another Nickelodeon film, which is Hotel for Dogs. Now onto my thoughts about this movie. I really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, I really, really do enjoy it. It's one of my absolute favourite movies ever. Not just in Nickelodeon's movie lineup, but it's just one of my absolute favourite movies ever. Well, on my first viewing of this movie, when I was about either 5 or 6, I couldn't remember when, but there are some scenes which I used to scream in terror at. First one being the incredibly deadly Viper when it was launching itself out of the cage, and then at the Baudelaires. When it made that noise, when it made a very loud noise, I was literally screaming in terror, and I hid in my mum's lap when we were both watching it. And there's also another scene where I was like that as well, and that's when the leeches were attacking the Baudelaires as well as their aunt Josephine. God, these are some scary scenes in the movie, but as I grow up, I don't find them scary anymore, and it never stops me from liking this movie. I truly love it so much. Well, the time when I first discovered this movie, I can't decide if it was either 2012 or 2013 or 2011. I actually saw my auntie and cousins have this movie on DVD, and when I had a look at it, I got quite happy when I saw the DreamWorks logo on the cover. I watched this movie pretty much every single day, along with Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I'm just never going to lie, and this is no joke. But how do you like my history? Feel free to let me know. I think I should stop my history for now, but let's go on to what I like about this movie. As I said before, I love this movie. The story is really, really good. You know, the three stories, Bad Beginning, Reptile Room, and Wide Window, all of which are good books to cram into this one film. And the characters I thought were really, really good. The Baudelaires were good three main characters. And all three of the Baudelaire children have one hobby each. Like Violet invents, Klaus reads books, and Sunny bites things. Because as you can see, or if you read the books or watched the film, I don't know. She has 4 sharp teeth at the front. And the cast members I thought were really, really great in this movie. Like, Emily Browning, she was ever so lovely as Violet. And if you're wondering, Emily Browning is now my celebrity crush. I'm not kidding when I say this. I love Emily Browning so much that I would absolutely love to watch The Uninvited at some point. Because Emily Browning in The Uninvited, the character that she played in this movie is Anna. And if you're wondering, The Uninvited is a horror film from DreamWorks. And I find it quite a coincidence as both A Series of Unfortunate Events and The Uninvited are both released by DreamWorks and star Emily Browning. And I thought Liam Aiken was actually really, really good as Klaus. I honestly thought Liam Aiken was such a good boy when I saw him. And the two twin baby sisters who played Sunny, Shelby and Cara Hoffman, they did wonderful as Sunny. And I loved Count Olaf in this film. He's an ever so awesome villain played by Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is such an awesome actor. And I thought he was ever so awesome as Count Olaf. And he was also awesome as the Grinch and Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic movie. And I also like the Baudelaire's Uncle Monty, in which he's played by Billy Connolly. He's basically like an animal expert. Like his house is basically a museum full of all different types of creatures, which are known as reptiles. And I think Billy Connolly did a good job playing Uncle Monty. And we also have Aunt Josephine, in which she's played by Meryl Streep, who was also Mrs. Fox in Fantastic Mr. Fox, as well as Donna in Mamma Mia. I really love Meryl Streep. She's a wonderful actress, in my opinion. And her character, Aunt Josephine in A Series of Unfortunate Events, basically, she's a coward quite a lot, because she's always worrying about things getting knocked over and or broken in an earthquake. And her house just so happened to be at the very edge of a cliff. And that is when the wide window comes into the film. And I also like Mr. Poe. He's also quite a good character in this film, in which he's played by Timothy Spall, in which I think he's a good actor, in my opinion, because he was also the dragon in Room on the Broom, and he also starred in Early Man as well. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention this as well. There's actually an animated opening sequence right after the Nickelodeon logo before the movie turns dark. Basically, there's an animated opening called The Littlest Elf, in which the song that plays in this segment is Lovely Spring, in which that's the only song to be in this whole film. And I think Lovely Spring is a lovely, lovely song for this movie. It almost makes me want to have a walk in the woods on such a sunny day. And I think the Littlest Elf character is really, really cute. And there's even a scene in the actual film where it shows the actual character when Violet, Klaus, and Sunny were trying to switch the tracks so they wouldn't get run over by the train. And basically, Violet basically uses a spring from the car seat and then attaches it to the Littlest Elf to make it like a slingshot. Yeah, Violet, you really do have good inventions. There's also something to note about this movie. Me and Jack Aggio have been role-playing the Baudelaire children on Discord. Like, we've been messaging each other on Discord until we've actually done role-playing on the 3 Baudelaire children, in which we thought was ever so cute. There's also something else I like about this movie. I like Count Olaf's play, The Marvelous Marriage, where it stars him and Violet. I thought that's quite a charming play, until Olaf gets punished for his actions, and was forced to do exactly what the Baudelaires did, like the collapsing house, and the leeches, and the train. Oh, And I also forgot to mention this as well. There are two scenes which did kind of jump scare me on my first viewing of this movie. And they are the incredibly deadly Viper, which basically launched itself out of the cage at the Baudelaires, and then Uncle Monty puts it back into the cage. I used to scream in terror in this scene when that snake made a very loud noise when it comes out. And there's another scene where I got scared at as well. And that is when the leeches were attacking the Baudelaires as well as their auntie Josephine. Both of these scenes made me scream in terror on my first viewing when I was pretty little. But as I grow older, these scenes no longer scare me. And apart from everything I mentioned, my final thoughts on this movie, it's a really, really good masterpiece of a movie. And for my final rating, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review on Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. And let me know in the comments what you think of this movie. Next movie I plan on reviewing sometime later is going to be Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. So yeah, stay tuned for this review. I don't think I have anything more to say about Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching this review, and goodbye.